Hi, everyone. So, thank you so much for joining us today. We are excited to have you here with us on this Wednesday afternoon. Before we get started, we'll just take a few minutes here to let people in. In the meantime, feel free to share where you're joining us from. We are very excited to see with Karina that a few of familiar faces were signed up. So, yeah, feel free to drop something in the chat or maybe anything that you'd like to cover us today specifically, and we'll be happy to go over this.
Yeah, hi everyone. Just checking out on my microphone. I would love to hear and to see where you are joining from. I know there's some of familiar face names and faces from the attendees list. So very happy that you find some time in your busy schedule to join this meeting today. So yeah, very excited.
Amazing. Karina, how is your week going so far?
It's been good. It's been sunny. So my mood raised up a lot, to be honest. And yeah, I was preparing with the team for this conference. So I'm very excited to be here today. But yeah, it's been very good. What about you?
Excellent. I can't complain. The sun definitely makes this week a little bit better, and we are all joining you right now, and it's still sunny by us, which is amazing. Spring is just around the corner.
Yeah, that's really lovely.
Excellent. Then I think we can just slowly get started. We'll anyway start with basics. We would like to welcome you to our Precoro's Product Conference. Today, we are excited to share the next steps in our journey together with you to becoming the number one platform for procurement centralization and automation. At Precoro, we are committed to building a product that empowers businesses to reduce costs, streamline processes, and gain complete visibility into your spending. In this session, we'll introduce our latest updates, ranging from new capabilities to strategic enhancements that elevate your procurement experience. On a side note, I'm Angelina. I'm Director of Procurement Solutions here at Precoro, and I'll be your host today. Together with me is Karina, my colleague, and our Customer Success Manager. We will be taking you through the biggest Precoro updates from 2024 and giving you a sneak peek at what's to expect in Q1 and beyond. So exciting stuff. Let's get started. Karina, why don't you share a little bit about yourself at this point?
Yeah, of course. Thank you, Angelina, for the intro. Hi, everyone. Thank you again for joining us today. I'm Karina, Customer Success Manager. I've been with Precoro for 2 years now, and I'm very, very excited to share our most important product updates and answer any of your questions that pop up. So, thank you for joining.
Excellent. So let's take a second here and talk a little bit about our housekeeping. We're very excited to see you engaging with us in the chat. So it looks like you already figured out how that works. In case some of you didn't, it's on your right hand side. Please use the chat window to communicate any technical issues or anything that you feel is important. To try it out, just go ahead and type your message. And then feel free to use the Q&A box to submit any questions that you have for us, and we'll get them answered. In case we go over our time, we'll get back to you on those answers either through email or we may even give you a call. So before we dive in, let's take a look at our agenda. So today's call will consist of a few pieces. We will start with Precoro product strategy overview. We'll then take a look at the latest Precoro features, PunchOuts, mobile app, and many more. And then the second block will be all about the future. We'll look at overview of Precoro roadmap for Q1 and further. And then typically we'll wrap it up with Q&A session. So Karina, you can now take the stage.
All right, so this sounds really exciting, and thank you, Angelina, for this intro once again. To be honest, I believe that the grand opening would be to share our central values and goals. today with you. So, at Precoro, our core mission is to centralize procurement processes, ensuring our customers gain complete visibility and control over their spending. We are committed to helping our customers streamline procurement, drive down costs, and free up their teams to focus on what matters is strategic priorities. So today's updates represent more than just a product improvement. So they are key steps toward empowering your organizations with the tools to automate tasks, ensure compliance, and centralize control like never before. We build our product plan to reflect our strategic vision for where the procurement industry is moving by analyzing the market trends and workflows you are building with Precoro. And of course, we put customers' feedback at the heart of our planning. So we value your feedback every day, and many of your suggestions have already our latest releases. So I really encourage you to share your feedback today, either with the sales representative you're in touch with or with the customer success manager. This is very important for us. And now let's move on to our latest features released in 2024. So, the Precor team has been working on several exciting enhancements designed to empower everyone, from those submitting requests to the decision makers who are approving documents and managing workflows. At Precoro, there are no limits to improving your procurement experience. Now, let's look at those improvements that can elevate your procurement operations. And first one, I guess, and probably one of my favorite ones is the mobile app. This is one of the most significant milestones last year, and we are very excited about it. Procurement doesn't always happen at the desktop, and that is why we wanted to make it easy for teams to place requests, manage your approvals, and send POs to suppliers at any device and from anywhere. So I hope this would be very helpful to you moving forward.
Exactly. I share your excitement about mobile app. That's something that has been requested widely across our incoming leads and our clients. And just if you think about it, it's not just about approving things while you're out of the office, but imagine traveling for a business trip. It's much easier to get a notification on your phone and improve from there. You don't have to pull up your laptop, log in somewhere else. You just do this directly from something that's on your pocket.
Yeah, and if you need to check on any order or communicate with your team while on the go, you can do all that as well. And your POs, attachments, and team messages are in your pocket no matter where you are.
hmm So, speaking of convenience, Karina, let's talk about PunchOuts.
Oh, of course. So last year, we expanded our integrations with some of the top suppliers that you can see on the screen right now. You can automate procurement from vendors like Granger, Fisher Scientific, Amazon Business, Home Depot, Staples Advantage, and Lowe's. Punchouts allow you to shop from these vendors and add items to your cart and transfer those details back into Precoro automatically for easy approval and ordering process. And also, we are adding even more punch-outs this quarter, which is actually one of those sneak peeks that we wanted to share with you, including McMastercard and Thermo Fisher. I know these are also important ones for some of you who are on this call today. So it means even more flexibility when automating procurement from your favorite suppliers.
Right. And if you're using PunchOuts, that means all about streamlining your process even further so you can save time and reduce manual efforts. You can explore all our available PunchOuts on the Marketplace configuration page. This page is available to you directly within your Precor account and is designed to give you easy access and control, allowing you to configure the PunchOuts you need. By the way, if there is any specific punch outs you're using a lot and would like us to potentially built, just let us know. You can contact your customer success manager or reach out to your sales representative if you are not our client yet. By the way, Karina, before we continue, I see there was a question from Steven. Why don't we maybe answer it right away?
Yeah, sure. Thank you, Stephen, for this question. I also noticed that one. Any plans to develop the app further, like advanced search functionality, etc.? So there is definitely a plan to move further with the development for the app, and these are also exciting news that we can share later in further quarters. So we plan to expand the functionality to include some additional modules to it, and of course, so some of these slight improvements of existing models as well. So stay tuned on that one. And um, your point of contact from Precoro can communicate any specific timelines or plans that we have in our product roadmap. I hope this answers your question. If not, just let me know with the additional comment in the chat. Thank you, Stephen.
And there was another question uh, in the chat. Is Shopify one of the punch outs you have in development? I believe not, just because Shopify is just a different type of vendor. But maybe I'm wrong, Karina. Can you add here?
At the moment, this is something that I would really like to check with our team first before giving you some empty promises, of course. But this is something definitely that we can discuss internally and get back with some like specific feedback to you. So
Mhm.
please expect any update on this question later on. Thank you for asking about that.
Yeah, amazing. Then we'll get back to you through email with further details. Great. I think we can maybe continue now with a few updates on accounting integrations.
Yeah, of course. So that was another big update. Accounting integrations. We all know how tedious manual data entry can be, especially when dealing with invoices, payments, and suppliers. So we expanded our accounting integrations with QuickBooks Desktop, Sage Intacct, and Exact Online. For more details, you can always reach out to your point of contact and they can share some specific information of how this works.
Mhm. And a few things here to add. So now you can choose the frequency of the synchronization, select the fields you want, and let it run automatically. Suppliers, invoices, payments, GL accounts, and projects. Now everything stays up to date automatically. If you're ready to enable these integrations, just reach out to the customer success managers and they'll help you out.
All right. So I guess it's time for us to move on to the next cool update, which is Precoro Suite app, one of the also the biggest highlights of the last year. With Precoro Suite app, what are the possibilities? You can seamlessly manage your Precoro integration from within NetSuite, whether you're working with one subsidiary or many. The team continuously adds functionality to the application, like with mobile app that we previously mentioned, so to make the vendor management process even smoother these days.
Mhm. And the integration allows for easy two-way syncing of vendor data. You can import things like accounts, taxes, and items into NetSuite, while also exporting POs, invoices, receipts, and credit notes from Procora.
Yeah, that's really cool. I just remember this update internally, the way we were discussing it. That's really great. All right. So now let's talk about invoices management automation with the help of the optical character recognition, which we usually call the OCR. So, for those unfamiliar with it, this is a tool that helps you to scan and process invoices faster. We've made some huge updates to make this feature even more powerful. So, Angelina, would you like to say a couple of words about that? And I'll then continue.
Sure. I'm personally a fan of this one, and I'm very excited to announce that we've partnered with Google and integrated their top tier AI processor to power our OCR. What it means is We are now using the best tech out there, and you ultimately use it as well to get your invoices processed faster and more accurately.
And yeah, I also wanted to add a couple of words about how OCR works. So your supplier forwards the invoice via email, or you can upload it as an attachment by yourself, like in Precoro. OCR then scans the document and extracts key details like vendor name, invoice number, dates, totals, and items. Once the data is extracted, you review the information, make any necessary adjustments, and confirm the invoice. This is powerful because Google's AI, Angelina's fan, this Google AI processor uses machine learning to improve over time. So it means it continuously improving its ability to spot blind items, totals, and dates, so you don't have to worry about missing details or manually fixing those.
hmm there will be one more thing about AI on this session. We'll cover this in just a little bit, but I would like to now continue with approvals. So, many of you have been asking for these improvements, and we are excited to share what we've built. Over the past year, we've focused on making approvals smoother with direct manager approvals, over budget approvals, and approval reviews, all helping you to keep everything moving seamlessly.
Yeah, and first one that we would like to take a look at is direct manager approval flow. But before we go there, I just noticed a question added in the chat. So we may take a look at it real quick and then move further, if that's okay. So, is there a way we will be able to undo redo options, since sometimes it may happen that you delete some details or attachment, unfortunately, but it's hard to retrieve it fast? Wow, this is really a good question. Unfortunately, I don't have like a real example in front of myself. It would be even better if I have some, I don't know, PO number or invoice number to take a look, to take a closer look. Um, when it comes to attachments, you can just like re-upload them to your document. When it comes to some line items, of course, you also delete them, like one way action. Let me also check with our team if they consider something like that in the future, which actually makes sense to me right now. But happy to check with the team how this aligns with the global product plan, but definitely worth considering for the future. So this looks really good. Another thing may not be that helpful, but we do have a revision history for the document, so maybe you can somehow check what was done to your documents, like in the past, and maybe just copy paste some details from past revisions. But yeah, thank you for this comment, for this idea. Definitely something that we'll keep in mind. Thank you for these questions. These are really good ones. I like it a lot. All right, so direct manager approval workflow. So why is it cool? This feature allows companies to designate specific approvers for individual requesters. Employees can get approval straight from their managers, cutting out unnecessary steps and delays while ensuring faster decision making. If you haven't enabled it yet in your Precor account, you can do so through basic settings. Then you go to Approval tab and then check the Enable Direct Manager Approval box. So it will take you like a couple of seconds. After that, you can set up who approves requests for each requester on the approval configuration page. So overall, it can take you like up to 3 or 5 minutes to set it up in your account. And another approval related update is about the over budget approvals. It's also one of my favorite ones because technically, like in the past, it took some time for us to understand how to support our clients with the necessary flows. But now there is a direct functionality for that, and I'm very happy about that. So right now, it is easier to manage cases like that. And we know how important is it for you to incorporate financial control into all of the spending. With over budget approval, you can set up approvers responsible strictly for over budget documents. If a document exceeds the limit, additional approval will be triggered automatically. And on the current slide, you can see how easy it is to set it up. So once enabled in the basic settings, there will be a checkbox when adding a new approval step to trigger it specifically for documents over the budget.
hmm And let me cover the last one. So, to make sure your documents are always getting the right level of oversight, we've introduced the approval review feature. This feature automatically triggers a review when a document skips the usual approval workflow. So let's imagine the head of the operations department left the company and a new employee was not added to the approval flow yet. With this feature, when the PO is raised within the operations department, instead of skipping the approval altogether, it will be routed to the admin with the approval review status, highlighting that the approval flow is missing and someone is taking care of this at the meantime.
Yeah, which is very supportive for admins. All right. So what else do we have here? Also, one of the most 2024 requested features that we've added last year is a budget rollover. The main idea behind this um, is to make sure that if there is some budget amount that you didn't use in a previous quarter or year, can be automatically transferred to the current budget period.
hmm All you need is just enable it and configure it in your budget settings, and any remaining funds will roll over to the next budgeting period. So, for example, if you have $500 left in your Q3 budget, it will carry over to Q4 automatically.
All right. So I guess we are done with the approvals and budgets updates, and let's now go to document custom forms updates. Um, these have been a huge request from our customers, and we're thrilled to roll them out. Angelina, if you might share some more details about that.
Sure. So I agree. This has been widely requested as well. And with custom forms now, you could create tailored forms for all types of documents, which is purchase requisitions, POs, invoices, and more. Moreover, you can decide which fields to add to each form based on what is being requested or ordered, such as service, product, or subscription.
Right. Thank you for that. Okay, so another exciting update is the new Open Purchase Orders report, which gives you full visibility into all POs that haven't been fully received or paid. This is a real game changer for tracking outstanding amounts and making your month's end and quarter end processes smoother.
hmm And with advanced filtering and the ability to export data by document or item in Excel format, you can now manage your open commitments with greater efficiency and control in place. Yeah, so we done a great job covering what we have featured in 2024. This has been a prominent year for us with our clients, and we hope that you either already took advantage of these features or heard something new today and will be reaching out to your customer success manager to try something new and improve your processes. Before we move on to our second block about future and what to expect with Precoro, there is a few questions that I believe we can tackle. So there is a question from Elita. Elita, we are very excited to have you with us today. So the question is, would you consider developing the option to download a one-page PDF of all supplier details, address, bank details, etc.? So, as far as I'm concerned, you can do this already through the mass export. Uh, but I'm not sure about one page, if you mean one page PDF per single supplier. Also, Karina, maybe you feel there is anything to add here?
Yeah, I'm also happy to see Elisa here. That's such a coincidence, a good one that Angelina and myself were communicating with Elisa in the past. So yeah, I guess, and I will definitely reach out to you, Elisa, about this question. But from what I know right now and how this can help you is there is an option to download the full list of suppliers in Excel format, and you would just have a full list of vendors with all the related details that you store in Precoro. It would be very interesting for me to check on like the business case around that.
Yeah,
During
Karina,
the
I'm sorry
yeah.
to interrupt you. Elisa added that
Uh-huh.
this is per single supplier.
Oh, I got you. Right. That's an interesting one. Let me take a look closer if this is something that we ever consider in the future, and maybe if you could share like your like how this covers your business, how this would cover your business case, and how this would be helpful to you, so we can just discuss further. But that's a good thought. Thank you for
Mhm.
that.
And there was actually one more question from Heather that got posted in the chat. And this is, do you have any plans to have an inventory barcode system anytime soon?
This one is a good one too. So, inventory has been a topic that we were discussing internally, and this definitely takes our attention. We do plan to, I'm not sure how this is going to sound, to have a plan. We plan to have a plan for inventory development to understand where we're going with this one. So, what I can say at the moment that this is definitely part of our planning in the future. Not ready to share some additional like timelines, not to overcomplicate things at the moment, but definitely worth checking with your customer success manager on specific timelines and if there's something else that you're interested within inventory part.
Right. And I just wanted to briefly add here that um, at this point, we have reconsidered the importance of having a more robust inventory in Precoro. By this point, it was also a second priority for us, and we would recommend typically someone else to take a look at for more advanced functionality around inventory. But yes, this is something that we are now reconsidering, and as soon as we have any more specific details we can share, we'll be happy to share them with you. But by the way, we have a use case of successful integration with one inventory system, so maybe we can also discuss it personally in more detail.
Well, these questions actually gives me a feeling that you guys were really involved into the session. So this is very supportive. Thank you so much for all these questions. This really gives an understanding that there's something that you're curious about and you look further to it. So thank you for all the comments and questions.
hmm And yeah, so Karina, also, why don't you share what is your favorite feature from 2024? I'm curious.
So to be honest, this morning, so we had morning session today. I was talking about custom forms. So this is actually still one of my favorites one. But to be frank, during this session, I really started thinking that also second favorite would be the list of improvements that we made for approvals, because there are several of them, like direct managers approval, approval review, which really is very helpful for admins to control where are the gaps in their approval flows to support requesters and approvers. So I guess, of course, custom forms, one of the best, but approvals goes next.
hmm I agree. That is one of the great ones. And we have one more question. Uh, okay, so is there a way for that everyone with access of Precora can view payment workflow only? And for ones that initiate any kind of payment and approver are only ones who can do amendments by certain payment. Mm,
All right. Maybe it's me being a little bit tired already. Or let me just reread it once again to make sure that I capture the importance of this question. So, is there a way, or maybe we can break it down into parts. So, is there a way that everyone with access of Precora can view payments workflow only? So, does it mean that you would like to have a group of users who would only have a visibility for like payments, and for ones that initiate any kind of payment, an approver are only ones who can do amendments of certain payment. So how I understand this question is that you would like to have a list of users who would only access some kind of payment portal, payment like pages or something like that, just to have a visibility on the payments part. Um, if this is the correct understanding of the question, just let us know. This sounds like something very new to me. And in Precoro, you can control like the level of visibility for specific people. Like you let them view invoices, but like add payments. So this actually sounds like a very specific business case. So I can just make some investigation around that, and you can always reach out to your customer success or salesperson you're reaching out to, or maybe we have your customer success manager on this call, so they can also reach out to you as well. But definitely sounds like a specific case, and I would like to take a closer look before I give some guidance on that. To be honest.
Mhm. Yeah, I think this also needs clarification, so we will also touch base on this. There was one more question, Karina. You've asked for engagement, you get it. So
That's great.
there's one question from Philip. He's wondering if we plan to have a way to classify vendors, such as preferred backup vendors and phasing out.
All right, that's a very good question, to be honest. And I believe this also requires some more clarification for me personally, to be honest. I would like to understand like what's the main idea behind that. Um, so the backup vendor part is curious, but the like the phasing out is also something I'm not sure about, to be honest. So does it mean that you would like to have a backup vendor for the purchase order that already has a signed supplier, but for some reason you're not going to work with them moving forward? I hope I got the question correctly, but at the moment I'm not ready to share any specific details at that point.
I also believe that you can definitely classify vendors using our custom fields, but it's not a direct functionality to tackle this use case. But this is something that you can introduce and then classify them semi-manually. Yeah, so there is more comments on that question. That's very helpful, especially with PM gray market
Mhm.
vendors. Or we use multiple vendors for the same items. Mhm. I would really suggest exploring custom forms with either your customer success manager or on your own. This would be the fastest way to tackle this uh, based on what we've heard so far. Mhm. Uh, Great. So I will mark it as answered for now, and there is a few more things. So Stephen has a follow-up comment on the previous question regarding payments from Maureen, I think. He says that we always get similar question from requesters. Is this invoice paid yet? As they don't have visibility of this as standard users.
All right. Yeah, so now I see where it comes from. Um, so your requesters may have access to a preview of a PO, because as soon as the invoice is paid, your PO can also marked as like paid or partially paid. And if, for example, I'm not sure how your full workflow looks like, You have, for example, purchase requisition at the beginning, and then you have a PO in the middle, and then the closing part is invoices and then payment of the invoices. You can have the invoice paid, and then this like kind of build status goes back to the PO level, and then end users, standard users, can access to the PO preview together with the status of the PO on the purchase requisition related documents. So if they access PR page, and then there will be a small window for the PO preview, they can also access the status of the document as well. I hope this not overwhelms you. Like all these details are not overwhelming, uh, but definitely worth checking on the PO preview page if there is also a convenient way to see the status of the PO to make sure of the related PO to make sure that they can track these details as well. So we can also cross-check and test it out how this can be achieved so that end users can also track the payment status for your purchase orders. I hope this answers the question.
Excellent. There is one more question, and then I believe we can continue with the second block for future updates, and then we'll have a big Q&A chunk at the end to cover the rest of the questions. So the question is it possible to prepare my own dashboard that may see my name and how many pending items to approve, how many payments are approved, and how many are paid?
All right. So dashboards and reports leave somewhere like in one direction. So I guess all these things can be covered within not dashboard, but with reports. I believe that this not may answer your question directly because you may want to have it within your dashboards, but maybe you could try to start with reports and later on perhaps we have some, I don't know, future improvements towards the dashboard. But all these things can be covered within the reporting part for sure. So you could schedule specific reports if you have an integration with G Suite. There is also a possibility to set specific filters in your reports. There's a possibility to create a custom reporting as well for these purposes. So all these things can be covered within that part. I hope this helps.
And we will also touch base on one more feature in the future, AI Assistant, that will help you with battling those questions as well. So let's continue then and talk a little bit more about what to expect in Q1 of 2025 and beyond. I'm excited to share some of the major updates we've planned. We have already revealed some key features in part one, and we'll now share a few more important ones that we are working on. These updates will continue pushing us towards our mission of procurement centralization and automation. And yeah, Karina, why don't you take it from here?
Absolutely. So let's start with the update many of you were probably waiting for. At the end of this quarter, we aim to release the ability to configure dependencies within custom fields on documents and item level. We call it usually DCF and ICF. For example, if you have a headquarters field in your DCF, you can define which departments are available for selection based on the chosen headquarters. Users who create a document will only see the relevant department options. This makes field selection much more structured and helps ensure accuracy without extra effort. And you'll be able to configure dependencies within DCF or ICF and between them, giving you more control over how information is organized. And later, we'll be expanding this to legal entities, which is very exciting as well, because this will allow you to define dependencies that align with your company's structure even more efficiently. So stay tuned. All right. So another key update is coming for our customers in Germany. With new regulations now in effect, B2B transactions must be electric invoices.
Right. And Precoro is ready to support you with this change. By the end of Q1, approximately beginning of Q2, we will support the e-invoicing in XML format, allowing businesses to upload invoices directly from their tax portals. This update will help you ensure compliance with the new requirements while keeping your procurement workflows efficient.
And I guess next we can talk about an update that will make processing documents much faster. Soon you can update item fields in purchase requisitions in bulk. For example, you can change the category or an item custom field for all the selected items at once. No need to update them one by one or use file uploads.
Mhm. Ultimately, it saves you a lot of time, especially when working with large orders. And by the way, this is just the beginning. We are working on expanding this logic to other documents over the next few quarters as well.
Yeah, and next, I guess worth mentioning that we are rolling out a key update to improve financial control as well. So you can block actions and prevent new documents from being created in closed financial periods. You can also set automatic closures on a recurring schedule, such as closing all documents from the previous months by the 5th of each month, for example. This ensures that no unexpected changes can occur once a period is closed, helping you maintain accurate records and preventing mistakes at period end.
Right. Let's continue. Here's the next one. Big update, in my opinion. And this is about something that will help make cost allocation much easier. Split costs. So, right now, if you need to assign costs to different departments or projects within one purchase, you don't have to create separate POs or invoices. You can now make it within one document.
Which really time efficient. So with this update, you can split cost within a single document. And for example, if you're purchasing a subscription, you can allocate those costs between sales, marketing, and PR equally, or by setting custom percentages. So this will streamline budgeting and expense tracking across teams.
Mhm. More updates here that we were covering. First, we are removing the 500 entry limit for the file imports and updates for those who are using uploads a lot. This means you can process now larger data sets without needing to split them in separate documents, which uh, makes your life easier and saves you time.
And we also introduced a new feature to track and manage contract amounts with suppliers. So, this update will allow you to set and track contract amounts directly within Precoro, making managing supplier agreements easier and staying on top of contract spending. All right. So, before we wrap up, I would love to hear what sneak peek Angelina has to share about what's coming in future quarters.
Yeah, absolutely. Just like we briefly talked in the portion about OCR, I'm very excited about tuning in AI. AI is everywhere now, as you know, making our lives easier. This is from smart assistants at home to automation in the workplace. Difficult to imagine how life was without just ChatGPT a few years ago. And procurement should not be an exception for this. We are working on our AI assistant in Precoro that'll give you instant answers to key procurement questions. So you'll be able to ask the assistant such questions as which POs are overdue for delivery? What invoices need to be paid this week and for how much? Or question like we had previously around custom dashboards. So while custom dashboards is not an option yet, you can definitely ask, what do I have to approve here today? Or just pop up your own question that you are interested in. This will save time for all types of users, from procurement managers to budget holders and requisitioners, giving quick insights without digging into anything specific or without just adding extra steps.
That sounds pretty cool. So we're also expanding our integrations. So more PunchOuts catalogs are on the way, including Wayfair, making it even easier to purchase from your preferred suppliers. And we're also working on new accounting integrations like Sage 300 to help streamline financial processes and keep everything in sync. And these updates are coming in future quarters, so stay tuned and look forward to our Precoro updates.
Right. So Uh, I know we have covered a lot today, and we are very excited to see you asking questions. And you probably were waiting for these updates as well. But if you ever want to revisit these, you can definitely find them in our knowledge base and on our blog. To stay updated with all the latest features and improvements, make sure to follow us on LinkedIn so that we can stay friends there, or just follow our YouTube channel. That way, you just won't miss anything that can be crucial for your processes.
All right. So yeah, thank you, Angelina, for this almost closing up part. I guess that we have some more questions on the Q&A
Mhm.
part. So feel free to post them over there. We're going to take a look just right now. We still have time before the end of this great conference. So I guess we can just pull some of them to the screen and take a look.
Yeah, absolutely. There was quite an interest to split costs. Not that we didn't expect this, but two questions. Number one, split costs. Can we do this in between different company channels within Precora? We have 5 different channels in Precora. I believe channels are entities. Is that correct?
I guess so, yeah.
Mhm.
Um, all right.
Yeah,
So
I have
go ahead.
ideas. I think this is not available within entities just yet, but this is something that we are working on further. Maybe I'm wrong, Karina.
Yeah, so this is something that we're still in development right now. And more details are on the way, how this is going to work and how this is going to be set up in configurations. I'm pretty sure that this comment will definitely help us to understand a bigger picture, how this can help you, and like what's your business idea behind that. But more details on how this is going to be set up are on the way.
Yeah, and I just think it's important to understand that this is the ultimate idea to give you uh, all the needed flexibility without adding extra steps. So, number one, introducing split costs within one company, and then we will continue expanding this logic further. Uh, yeah, so within same supplier codes but different entities. So, as of now, this is not an option, but this is where we are heading towards. Perfect. Another question here um, about split costs from Philip. Split costs. When creating the PO, you have to select a cost center. What happens when the cost is split across multiple cost centers?
Okay, sounds like a like specific task on math. All right, so when creating the PO, you have to select a cost center, but what happens when the cost is split across multiple cost centers? So I guess the main idea is still behind the split cost thing is that you'll be able to allocate different like levels of like your either cost centers or departments so that you have the breakdown between these costs to have for example a PO and on and again this is like the idea of this is going to work moving forward. The product team is still like defining the global logic behind that, but the main idea is to actually split different type of costs between your cost centers. So I hope this answers the question.
Mhm. Okay, one more. Um, Are there any future plans to have a Precoro catalog with items for purchase with reduced pricing based on on negotiations on Precoro's end? Question by Heather.
Right. So what I can see from this question is that there is like a desire to keep the catalog items up to date. We do have some plans in regards to items being up to date to the latest prices that you were using in the past. And of course, um, maybe not the direct solution for your case, but definitely you could try looking into RFP as well to keep your items up to date to suppliers' costs, and then using them in your purchase orders as well. But yeah, for the catalog, there might be some more improvements in this regards to keep the prices in your catalog like the most up to date ones that you were using in the past. So I believe, and not believing, but I'm pretty sure there is an option for catalog prices management already in the system. So maybe later on, your customer success or sales manager can reach out and check on this functionality in more details.
Hmm. Yep. Okay, so I'll mark this answered for now. Another one. Will there be the ability to create new POs with a CSV file by import? And NetSuite, for example, has this capability. Super time saver, not having to manually create each PO when you have many a day. I believe it's a mapping by existing IDs, and then Precoro creates the new PO number and line items.
Right. So over here, I can see that the main idea is to kind of import POs in bulk. Um, I would be interested to look into this in more detail. What's the main logic behind that? Of course, it's a super time saver. But looking at this case, I'm questioning the main idea at the moment over here because within Precoro, there's like a possibility for end users to actually go into the system and use it and create purchase orders and identify all the details. And on your case over here, I can see that additional part is involved, which is Excel spreadsheets that you're converting into CSV file and then import it to Precoro. So maybe it's worth thinking a little bit towards this business case in general and perhaps not using Excel spreadsheets and just go directly to the system and actually create POs over there. Because Precora goal is to eliminate the usage of such tools like mailboxes, phone calls, something that you cannot control. And giving the possibility to import POs in bulk would questioning the main goal here. Like we would really like clients to stop using uncontrolled functionalities like mailbox and Excel spreadsheets, but
Hmm.
look towards more controllable PO creation process.
Right. So, how we see it is that still sticking to some processes across spreadsheets and emails creates bottlenecks still. So, maybe there is an opportunity to review the process, or there is or if there is a specific reason you continue using Excel sheets, we would like to explore this further and suggest you a more alternative option. But also to answer your question, we are exploring different intakes forms. I believe my colleague Serge, that some of you must have been working with, has an experience with that. So there will be a few more details on intakes further. Uh, Okay, so I will be marking this as answered as well. Um, Guys, there were a lot of questions. Thank you so much for your participation. In case we've missed anything in chat, please let us know. Otherwise, this is your time to ask more questions here. Perfect. I see our team, Tara, Jane, Mary, are already contacting their clients, which is amazing. I hope that these updates and functionality insights brought you some ideas on how this can be managed and used for your team. And our customer success team will be happy to guide you through that.
Yeah, and yeah, this was very exciting. You can see a comment from Patty. Thank you, Patty. So basically, definitely, the inventory part is something that we'll be able to talk through moving forward. And yeah, that was a very exciting webinar for me. If you have any questions or comments, as we shared before, feel free to reach out to our team, to sales reps that you're communicating with currently. And we're always glad to hear from you and happy to share any available details and make your life easier.
Excellent. Yeah, actually, one more question.
Okay.
Uh, what will be the security with AI integration? Will there be another training?
Wow, so that's encouraging. About the additional training, and when it comes to AI integration, that's a very good question that we're going to consider and pass to our technical guys. I'm pretty sure they keep it covered and consider all the like possible and necessary things that we need to think of in regards to AI integration. But yeah, definitely thank you for noticing this and bringing to the table, Claire.
And yeah, I totally agree. This is important. You want to be in control of how your data is processed. So we'll definitely be telling more when there is more to roll out on AI Assistant. Um, and yeah, so there's something else in chat. Yeah,
That's me.
very, very concerned. That was not you. Very concerned was financial security, especially how public AI is. I
Mm.
agree. We'll definitely keep you posted on how it works within Precoro, and then you will be able to decide whether you are ready to use that functionality within Precoro. I think we may now wrap up. This was an exciting almost 1 hour with all of you. We are very happy to continue working with you and to present our findings so far. And I personally look forward to having you on our next webinar.
Yeah, likewise. So thank you for joining and have a great rest of the day and talk to you later.
Bye bye.